Good afternoon, everybody. How's everyone doing? Good? No, really, how's everyone doing? Thank you, Marcia. Actually, that was the first thing that I wanted to say. I wanted to thank you, Marcia, and all the individuals at the University of Maryland that helped put this event together and asked me to come and participate here today. As Marcia mentioned already, my name is Raaheela Ahmed, and I am a Terp alum. I am a former Model Citizenship Awardee. Jeff? No, sorry. My apologies. I'm a former Model Citizenship Awardee. I am a Prince George's County Board of Education School Board member. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about my journey into service and leadership in the hopes that it might inspire you in your action as you move forward in your careers, in your paths. I'm first and foremost the daughter of immigrants. My mother is an immigrant from Pakistan. She moved here when she was very young. My father is an immigrant from India, and he moved here in his mid-20s, around the same age that I'm at now. And it's really because of my father that I'm standing here before you today. Because 10 years after him moving to the United States, he decided that he wanted to run for office. And he did. And so my first experience being civically engaged and politically engaged was when I was 5 years old at parades for my dad, holding little vote for my dad signs with my sister. And it was fun, right? It was nice. Sitting up there, looking the big picture, waving at people. Unfortunately, my dad did not make it that election cycle, but he persevered and he tried again. He ran again when I was 9 years old. And my favorite part about that election was that I was having sleepover parties with my cousins. And what we would do is we would sit and we would have an assembly line where we would fold, stuff, seal, stamp envelopes filled with information about who he was, about why people should vote for him, and why people should vote in general. Unfortunately, he lost that election as well and ran again 4 years later. At that time, I was 13 years old. And this was probably one of my hardest elections because I was a very quiet and timid-ish girl who was going door to door to try and convince people that this is my dad, he is worth your time, and he is worth your vote. And I never experienced xenophobia, Islamophobia, racism, sexism, and ageism quite like the way I did when I was going door to door when I was 13 years old. There was a lot of learning there. Unfortunately, my dad did not win that election. But he came back. He ran again when I was 17 years old. And by then, y'all, I was a pro. I was running his election day operations. I was calling up my friends, getting our faith-based community members out at the polls, passing out his information. I was doing that as well. He didn't win. We tried 4 times and he didn't win. But then I turned 18 and he turned to me and said, Raaheela, it's your time to run. And I told him, you're crazy. I don't want to do this. I've seen all the bad. I don't want to be subject to that negativity because I saw so much of what had gone on in campaigns and in politics. But he told me these 4 things, and I lived with him. I couldn't, get away from hearing him say this. And he told me these things over and over again. He said, Raaheela, our community needs you. He said, Raaheela, this is your passion. He said, Raaheela, you are qualified. And he said, Raaheela, I will support you. And so he said these things to me over and over and over again until I said, okay, let's give it a shot. And so I ran for the first time when I was 18 years old as a full-time student at the University of Maryland, second semester freshman. Whenever I was not in class or studying or working on an assignment, I was out going door to door, meeting people, hearing about issues, talking about the things that really, really matter for our community. I ran without the support of the political establishment of my area, and the primary election was a huge upset for them because we won the primary election. We won that election, and then we hustled that entire summer. And the political powers that be came out all in support of my opponent, who was an incumbent and 5-time chair of the board. And we lost the general election by 3%. But I am my father's daughter, so I came back. And that time, we won. So now I'm sitting on the Board of Education in front of you today as a 5-year incumbent on the Prince George's County Board of Education, representing over 80,000 people in the Bowie area, just about 25 minutes away from here. I've learned a lot of lessons being in politics, being on the campaign trail, and being a professional in the nonprofit industry currently. But the lessons I want to share with you all today surround the idea and the concept of power. Specifically, what the hell is it? And how do we get it? For me, the first thing is that authenticity is power. I really feel like one of the reasons why I was able to get to where I am in being elected was because I came to the table, I said, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, will you stand with me? Were there people that said, oh, honey, I know your faith is personal, it's important to you, but I think if you didn't wear hijab, that would be better off for you in the political space? That happened. Were there people that said, oh, hey, honey, I love everything that you're about, but I don't think you have enough life experience, so maybe next time? And the next time came around and they said the same thing. That happened. But what I kept doing is coming to the table, saying, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, will you stand with me? So authenticity is power. The second thing I would say is that the mind is a powerful thing. In retrospect, I was thinking about the 4 things that my father kept telling me. And I recognize now, at some point, I started to actually believe those things. I started living as if that was already done. Yes, heck yeah, I'm qualified. Oh yeah. People definitely see my passion. The community definitely needs me, for sure. And everybody's going to want to support me. Once I started believing those things and living at the end started coming to me. That was power. And the third thing I would mention is kindness. Kindness is power. Now, I'm not talking about the golden rule, do unto others as you would like things to be done upon you. I'm not talking about people remember the way that you feel more than what you say. I'm talking about kindness to self. I'm talking about empathizing. If there's nothing that you remember from this talk today, other than the fact that I accidentally called someone Jeff, who is not Jeff, I'm sorry. It's this. You're the only person that you have to spend the rest of your life with. You're the only person that you have to spend the rest of your life with. So be someone that you are proud of. Be someone that you are kind towards. And be your own best friend. Once you start talking to yourself like you're your own best bud, that is power. I did that today before coming here. I said, Raaheela, you're going to do a great job. It's going to go so well. Minus Jeff. And so these are the three things, right? Overall, when I'm talking about power and what I've identified and what I've learned about what it is and where it comes from, authenticity, belief, mind, empathy, kindness, it's all right here. Power is not external. It's all right here for each one of us. And all we have to do is absorb it, take it in, and lead our lives. I hope that each one of you find your own power, empower others, and carry it forward. That's the way we're going to change the world. And then I'm very excited to see how it happens for each and every one of us here today. Thank you all so much. Marsha, back to you.